I'm the awkward GM Corbin, and it's crunch time on explaining Chronicles of Darkness's investigation system. Today's sponsor is Matthew from Warlock's Sanctum Games. He's a professional game master, and you can find a link in the description to his Start Playing account if you'd like to hire him. The investigation rules help game masters to streamline the clue finding process. This system has a fail-forward mechanic in which even if you don't succeed on a roll, you still will progress the plot, but with additional complications. I'll have an example of using these rules at the end of the video. Investigation is what we will call this type of encounter. Clues are items or facts that players are rewarded with when they investigate. Elements are the number of bonus dice that players can use to assist in future rolls. These are associated with one particular clue. An investigation is solved when a target number of clues are found. Elements can be spent to give bonus dice to rolls pertaining to the investigation, such as confronting a suspect or looking for more clues. You can only use the elements from one clue or for as many clues as you have dots in an investigation skill. They can also be used as clues for determining if the investigation is solved. As a game master, you can quickly come up with an investigation on the fly. First, decide how many clues your players need to solve it. Secondly, figure out a few clues that your players might find. Sometimes it's just fine, though, to ask your players what they're looking for, and then improvise it on the spot. Third, determine the length between finding clues. You might have one session be a months-long investigation in game time, or you could spread an investigation across multiple sessions if you want, depending on what type of pacing you want the game to have. Fourth, don't worry about planning about which dice pools your players can use. Allow them to tell you how they want to investigate, and then come up with a dice pool on the spot. Lastly, some clues can be helpful or detrimental, depending on how well your players roll. The majority of the actual gameplay is uncovering the clue. Your players will roll their dice pool of whichever relevant attribute plus skill they're using. You can add extra modifiers on depending on how old the crime scene is or whether the investigators don't have an immediate time limit. On a dramatic failure, the clue is tainted, and until the investigators can figure out what it really means, everyone has a -1 to every action pertaining to the investigation. On a failure, the clue is incomplete and its element can only be used to find more clues. On a success, you get a clue with one element, but get an extra one if your character has 4 dots in the skill they used or a specialty. Exceptional success is the same as the normal success, but you get an extra element. An investigation ends if the target number of clues are reached, either by having enough clues or enough clues plus elements to reach it. Investigators can choose to end an investigation early, but this could lead to additional complications per missing clue, such as the culprit hiring extra protection or another roadblock decided on by the game master. Why would you end an investigation early? Perhaps there is a time limit before the next serial murder, or the dice gods aren't being kind. Leave such a decision up to your players if you can. Here is an example investigation. A painting has gone missing. It's an average mystery, so I made the target number of clues be 3. And since this is a professional heist, I've decided that the clues take a decent amount of time to find, about 1 per hour. I ran my character Mac through this investigation. I came up with a couple of courses of action for him, such as searching the crime scene, checking the security footage, and talking to witnesses. First, he searches the crime scene. He successfully uncovers a lock of hair, giving him 1 clue and 1 element. He could spend that element to add an extra die to his next roll, but he's going to bank it for now. Secondly, he is going to examine the security footage, discovering the blurry figure of the culprit, giving him another clue with 1 element. It is at this point that Mac can stop the investigation. He has uncovered enough clues plus elements to solve the investigation. Putting the clues together, he is able to find out from the owner that a raven-haired woman asked to purchase the missing painting weeks ago, but he refused, though he does have her business card. This could lead to a confrontation where the investigator and the culprit fight, or perhaps the culprit strikes a deal with the investigator to sell the painting together and split the earnings. Regardless of what the investigator chooses, this case is closed. Please let me know what you think about this new video format. Did it help you better understand Chronicles of Darkness's investigation subsystem? Like and subscribe if it did, and please leave a comment below if you have any suggestions for future videos. As always, feel free to throw a couple bucks my way through my Ko-fi account, link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.